Council District 12 for the City of Los Angeles encompasses the northwest side of the San Fernando Valley. Our guest today was not only re-elected to serve as council member for the district, but he has been a resident since 1978, which is over 40 years. I'm delighted to be joined today by Councilmember John Lee. So nice to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
All right, as I mentioned, that's a long time. Staying in your home district, what is it about Council District 12 that makes you want to not only live there, but serve?
Sure, you know, it's the community that I was raised in. It's a community that I love so much. I think the reason why people moved to Council District 12, why they lived there, are the same reasons why my parents moved there in 1978. They wanted to move to an area where people take the time to actually get to know their neighbor. You know, I always like to say that Council District 12 is the last slice of Mayberry here in the city of Los Angeles, because it is somewhere where you get to know your neighbors.
One of the huge, and you can't escape it, is the issue of the unhoused and homelessness. I know that you put in some pretty robust programs in your district. You know, how are they in regards to getting people off the streets, but more importantly, what is your thought process in what needs to be done?
Yeah, when I took office, we had 0 beds in Council District 12. I'm proud that in my first term in office, we were able to create hundreds of beds with a couple hundred more on the way. While I always believe that housing is a part of that solution, I think that we need to take a more holistic approach. You know, in Council District 12, when we build shelters, we have to make sure that we have a drug addiction component, a mental health component into it. But I also think that we need to be doing more. We need to be doing more at the state level and the federal level, because I've always seen mental health as health. And we have a mental illness crisis on our streets. If somebody's having a heart attack on the sidewalk, we pull over and we help that person. When we see someone having a mental illness crisis on our streets, the only tool in our tool belt to deal with this is repetition, is hoping that they accept services on the 7th time that they didn't accept 6 times before. We need to be able to do more in this area and to really treat the mental illness crisis as a health concern, which is something that I've always believed in, and it's something I'm going to continue fighting for.
Good. All right, well, on an upbeat, positive note, you're back and you're reelected, you're back in this term. What are your priorities for, this particular term, and what are your hopes and dreams?
You know, I think my focus has never changed. Being someone who was raised in that district, supporting law enforcement is not something that I thought of when I started working as a council member. It's a lesson that was taught to me by my community. And I think it's important that my community understands that that is a priority of mine, because I know it's a priority of theirs. You know, making sure that we can stay in a community where your child can ride their bike out of eyesight and not be worried. Making sure that that safety is there. We are the safest district in the city of Los Angeles, and it's my intention to always keep it that way.
That's fantastic. Well, it was wonderful having you back in, and we look forward to seeing you again. And I know exactly what you mean by Mayberry. There may be people that may not remember the allusion. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me here.